All right, what's going on? We back. Motor City Sports Talking in the building. Talking some, draft spotlight, kind of discussion overview. And how big of a need is the wide receivers for the Detroit Lions? They addressed it over and over again in the offseason. Amendola, Tommy Lee Lewis, I think that's his name. With two of them dudes. And then they already got Powell, Jones, Galladay. So, and they may be expected to draft, and they might be expected to draft a tight end as well. So, I might be missing some receivers on the squad too. But how big of a need is a receiver position for the Detroit Lions? Let's chop it up. And for me, I didn't really look at it as a deep need. I understand. I think this offense is going to go to a lot of two receivers, two tight end sets, two receivers or one receiver, I formation, tight end, up back, running back type of sets. I think you're going to see a lot of heavy sets, out of the Lions. Still don't mean they can't, spread it out as well. But, I kind of look at it as it's not one of the pressing needs for the Lions. I kind of look at it as, okay, we need to build something or get a receiver to get ready to replace Marvin Jones. I think that's what it's really going to boil down to. So, we're prep a receiver behind Marvin, learn how to shadow Marvin. I don't think Marvin may be here too much longer. Even though I think if you go out there and have a good season next year, they still could find a way to get rid of Marvin Jones. So, at this point, I think it's about replacing Marvin Jones. That's what I think it's about. I think it's about having a safety net. Now, they had Dontrell Inman in, I think it was, from the Indianapolis Colts. Didn't leave with a contract. I like him a lot. Rangy guy. Came in the league undrafted. Played in CFL. But the draft offers, the NFL draft offers a deep selection of receivers. You can get one in the first round. Probably get value in the second, third, fourth round. And with that being said, let's see what the Lions do. And I think they will draft a receiver at some point. It doesn't need to be a guy that is like the most talented right now. If I can get DK Metcalf in round 2 or round 3, I'll take him. I develop him. I try to get some of that muscle off of him. That's what I do. I try to develop him, get the muscle off of him a little bit, get him built like a receiver so he won't have those soft tissue issues. He can able to, change directions, get in and out of breaks a little bit better because his lateral movement is piss poor. A lot of people look at his, straight up north and south movement, but going laterally, he was amongst the slowest with running backs and offensive linemen. I believe it was, but you got DK Metcalf, which I think the first round is extremely too early for him. Pierce Campbell from Ohio State, really speedy receiver, get downfield. A lot of people in Detroit have been they've been hypnotized or they've been spoiled with Calvin Johnson, so they want to look for the 6'4", 6'5" receiver, and it doesn't matter if you're tall. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Some of the negatives about a taller receiver is it's more body to hit. It's easier to get hit when you go up in the air and reach for those balls. It's harder to get in and out of breaks being that tall too, and learning how to really, run routes with precision. A lot of tall receivers don't really succeed in the NFL or become superstars, reach their potential, like AJ, Julio, Calvin, Vincent Jackson back in the day. A lot of guys don't really succeed at that position, man. But a lot of people have now, if you can just play the game, you can play the game. Marquise Brown, one of my favorite guys. He's a smaller guy, but he can fly and he can really get down the field, man. Then you got Ole Miss receiver AJ Brown. He's a better receiver than DK Metcalf right now. Just looking from him overall skill set. But DK Metcalf is about the potential and athletic ability. Was it Debo Samuels for South Carolina is another guy. You just going up and down the list. Riley Riley from Georgia. Was it Anil Harry from Arizona State? Hakeem Butler from Iowa State. A lot of people like him as well. Kevin Harmon from North Carolina State. We just going through the list. J.J. Whiteside, or Rocket Whiteside, whatever his name is, another guy from Stanford. And then you got Andy Isabel from Massachusetts, who's very, very fast. Smaller guy, but fast. You know, so you got a ton. You got a deep wide receiver. And wide receivers, wide receivers can develop fast. They're dime a dozen. One of those you can hit it big with an undrafted. You can hit it big. It's kind of remind you of running back. You can hit it big with a third or fourth round pick like Galladay. You can hit it big in the first round. You know, so it's a good one. But as far as the priority list for the Lions, I'm looking like linebacker. Like at some point, at some angle, you can say all three needs to be done. Some people think we still need a cornerback through the 7 to 8 cornerbacks we got on the roster. Right guard, right tackle, left tackle, all either this year or for the future. You know, those are about 7 positions already named that I value over receiver already. And we know it's probably going to be more one linebacker than 2, but I really think they should look at all 3. But let's say 2, cornerback, 3, right tackle for the future, 4, right guard for the future, 5, and left tackle. We say, okay, you say Terrell Crosby, you want him to slide in right tackle. Okay, so then you still got the right guard position, the left tackle position, unless Taylor Decker balls out this year. And he's in a contract year because I don't know if they're going to extend his 5th-year option. I think so. He could, he couldn't. So you at least preparing to take 1 offensive lineman. You probably at least preparing to take 1 linebacker. You probably at least taking 1 cornerback. You probably going to take a tight end. That's 4. So those are 4 positions that you may look at just minimum before you look at the wide receiver. And your wide receiver is probably not going to contribute this year. You know, he's probably not going to get out there unless it's an injury. He probably not going to get out there and perform. So it's going to be a learning year. You know, a red shirt learning year for the receiver. So, so would I be mad if they took a chance on the kid from Arizona State? No. If Metcalf fell to the 2nd round, would I be mad? No. If they took a chance on Ohio State Paris Campbell, then he got also a teammate they could fly, I won't be mad at that. So hopefully, Bob Quinn did an excellent job of, drafting Kenny Galladay. And you know what? I think it's the kid from Arizona State. I think that's him that worked with Calvin Johnson. And Calvin Johnson was trying to show him how to get on top of corners, how to win at the point of attack. I think it was him. There's another tall kid out there too. But I think it was him. And I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if they pick a guy like that. Big, strong, fast kid. Get in and out of breaks. So, you can't get mad when somebody's as talented as that kid from Iowa State is, excuse me. So we'll see, man. But as far as I think you can argue it's a top 5 need. But it's some value in there because Marquise Brown can slide because of the injury. And a lot of people look at Marquise Brown because he's small. Like I said, once again, receivers, your greatness at receiver is not determined if you 6'5", 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", 6'1", 5'11", 5'8", 5. I say 5'9" to be safe. 5'9", 5'10", 5'11". You know what I'm saying? It's a you don't have to be big to be pop. You don't have to be big to be the best. Steve Smith wasn't the biggest. T.Y. Hill not the biggest. But a lot of people don't have an answer or didn't have an answer for him. So you just want to get it right. You don't want to draft big because, big receivers got their downfalls too. Learning to run smooth routes. You know what I'm saying? And little receivers, yeah, they can get beat up, but they don't have a lot of body to hit. You don't take the physical abuse big receivers take because you don't have a lot of body to hit. So, we'll see, man. I like some of these receivers. I think eventually Lions will draft a receiver at some point in this draft. So let me know, how big of a priority is receiver, or how big of a priority should receiver be for the Detroit Lions in the comment section. Love to hear you guys' rebuttals, your reactions, and what receiver in draft you like, or is it a free agent receiver that you like to see the Lions bring in, or do you feel like they got enough talent behind Jones, Galladay, Amendola, Powell, or do you think they need one more young receiver to get going behind them? But in my belief, that receiver is probably going to ride the pond for a minute. But Motor City Sports Talk, let us hear what you guys think. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email as well. Best way to donate is just to share the videos, man. Just continue to share them on social media. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow, one time for the one time. We go.